everyone, I'm Jason. I'm currently a year 3 student. I'm majoring in marketing and management, double major. So I guess today I just share more about how like studying marketing in HKUST is, and also share my learning journey throughout these 3 years. All right. So I believe all of you have already went through that taster session just now, and you knew more about what marketing is. I'm just going to go through this part rather briefly, but then I think similar to most students, especially those who haven't studied something related to marketing in high school before, it's actually a bit vague on what marketing is actually. So sometimes you might see, for example, if you're local in Hong Kong, you might notice a lot of influencer marketing happening, right? Mira, this group, they're appearing in a lot of different ads. You can see them in McDonald's, for example, when people are going crazy for it. So these are actually also something under marketing, right? Something the firms are doing. And if you're interested, that's probably partly why you'll be interested in studying marketing. So it could be promotion, but that's not everything. We have also seen something like some referrals or reward codes. For example, ZA Bank, they're doing a lot of marketing strategies, including referrals and discounts. So these daily life examples are all under some different marketing strategies held by the firms. Another type would be loyalty programs. So probably you have been to McDonald's or Starbucks and you have used their mobile app, right? You can order online, you can enjoy different discounts and like birthday rewards whenever you get, hit the specific criteria set by the marketers. So all these decisions and all these strategies are also under marketing. If you're interested, let's say when you grow up for a career, you would like to know more about how these are implemented and what's the logic behind, then these are all you can learn under marketing. All right, so I'm not going to go very deep into this part about what marketing is. So let me share a bit more about the courses, like what you actually learn in university, right? Marketing, as I've just briefly went through, it's actually very broad, right? We don't have a very narrow or specific part, and you can actually specialize by choosing different electives in UST. So I'm going to introduce one of the course that I enjoyed the most before. It's called Consumer Behavior. So this course is really interesting. In Cantonese, it is 消費者行為心理學. So you might wonder, is psychology something, or like behavioral science? It's something more under psychology, but not business, right? Actually, it's very related to marketing, because a part of what we do is we need to learn how can we attract the right customers and the right target audiences and match them with our specific products or services. So in this consumer behavior course, we actually learn a lot about something that seems like very straightforward, that as a customer, right? It's actually a very complicated or very complex decision made by firms based on different plannings, different strategies, etc. So one great part of under this section is actually brand management. So how we elevate a brand, how we make sure we improve the branding of different companies, these are also under marketing. And one of the very interesting projects we did is actually a comparison between Donkey and 759, these two convenience stores that is very popular in Hong Kong, and they're also having goods from Japan. Our study is actually to learn why 759 is not as competitive as Donkey as they enter the market later in this decade. So let me share some slides we did for our project presentation. Something to introduce about marketing. So in marketing courses, we learn a lot about presentations, about how we can get across ideas and messages, because that's one of the core parts of what marketers do. So yeah, we'll actually have a very hands-on experiences here. We can design some surveys or even some focus groups and interviews, and we find different of our classmates or maybe professors or even just our friends and relatives to be part of our studies and part of our surveys. And after gaining different data, we actually have a very thorough investigation on different factors, on different issues, and we formulate based on our research. So you can see on the left side here are some insights we gained from our research. And then we came up with different strategies, different ways to suggestions for the firms. Definitely it's hypothetical. We're not actually pitching to the real firm, but these kind of practical studies on actual stores and actual brands in the market, it's actually a very useful way to learn about marketing. So it's not only about theory, but also about application to some real life companies we all know about. So yeah, just sharing a bit about our presentation, and throughout this method, I think it's a really effective way to learn about different parts of marketing. Okay, so moving forward, I'd like to also highlight a bit about my second major, management. So it's actually a very common combination in UST that we have marketing and management as the double majors, because there's some sort of synergies between. And the part I'm going to talk about is something about entrepreneurship. So if you have ever thought of starting your own company, running your own business, then this part might intrigue you a bit. As you all know, like starting, no matter what kind of firm it is, starting your own brand, it involves a lot about promoting it, letting people hear about your brand, knowing about what you're doing, right? So it's about this strategy involving a lot of marketing in related knowledges and strategies that we need to utilize and for our startup journey. And for management, it's a bit more about like how we can, there's actually a lot of different parts, like human resources management is a part of management, how we can manage people, how we can motivate people, leadership, and also some practical skills like negotiations that we always do in the business sector. So these are more on management, and together they can actually shape a very holistic way on how you can actually run or start your business. So I'm just sharing some photos of my own startup that I've started actually in year 2, because I've always been aspiring to be a student entrepreneur. And yeah, so we can see like some more straightforward applications would be how we can actually coordinate some marketing campaigns, right? Using social media like LinkedIn, Instagram, that we're all very used to using it. So these are some very practical applications that I've been learning from school, and also directly utilizing the knowledge I've learned in the different initiatives or activities after school. And moving forward, I'll also like to talk about a bit about my internships. So it's a very common thing that business students, they need to find different internships in different companies to actually learn more how the theories that I've learned at school applies in real firms. So one of the most interesting one related to marketing is actually an internship at Starbucks Asia Pacific office. It's actually based in Hong Kong, but then they are the office that oversees 14 different APAC markets, like Australia, like New Zealand, the Southeast Asia countries. And it's actually a very interesting and fun internship. Starbucks is a very vibrant brand. It's a very big consumer brand globally. And there's a lot of opportunities to learn how they have different strategies and different marketing methods for different specific markets across Asia. And yeah, as you can see on the photo on the left, it's a laboratory in their office that they design different new products, different new drinks and beverages. So yeah, there are a lot of hands-on experiences, and this is also a very good implication on how marketing actually relates deeply to product, right? The product we set and design to like fulfill and cater for the market needs, that's also part of what marketing does. So the whole department is actually called the product marketing department, and like I've been having an internship there, like understanding about different things and also having some hands-on experiences. So as you can see on the photo on the right, it's actually some like merchandise they have. So they don't only sell beverages, right, and all food. They also sell something like the bottles, some accessories or like backpacks, etc. And I was very lucky to be able to get involved in the design direction of one of the series they're having in the coming summer. So I'm not a very artistic designer. I don't focus on graphic design, but then somehow how marketing relates to it is we need to set the direction on what's the customer's preferences. Like let's say the target audiences, they are more younger, Gen Zs, right? So how can we intrigue them with different ways? So that is how marketing relates to these kind of internships, and it's a really good opportunity to exercise what you've learned from university courses. And last but not least, let me wrap up with some of my other ECAs that's also involving a lot about marketing, and it helps me a lot. So as I've mentioned, marketing emphasizes a lot on how to get across the idea and how to present, how to do business presentations. This is a very essential skill in the workplace. And through our different competitions, I also had a chance to exercise and practice more in some very exciting moments. So for example, this is a hackathon I joined last year. For those who doesn't know, hackathon is a competition and some sort of like an entrepreneurship competition where you're only given typically 2 to 3 days that you need to come up with an very comprehensive idea to tackle a specific problem or case that the organizers issued. So people are going sleepless, working on PowerPoints, and also building the idea overnight. And then there will be a final presentation in the end where we try to persuade the judges that we're the best team, we have the best idea. And we're very lucky our team won the champion in this competition. And there's also a lot of like marketing areas that I can specialize in, because for the team, usually it's composed of people from different fields. Some of them are from engineering, some of them are from finance maybe. And as a marketing student, I can help out the team with some marketing positioning strategies, like how should we carefully position a product, like the course you have just learned about, some pricing strategies, and also who are our target customers, etc. So these are very good experiences. And another recent competition I joined, it's a pitch competition. It's a solo one, and one of the very memorable part during the final round is they got a question about marketing strategy. They mentioned about how, like as a student ambassador, if you got in, how can you help to promote this organization among university students to make it more popular and a more well-known organization. So this question, like it's seemingly a very generic question, but then it's actually involving a lot of marketing concepts, if you know. So I got my opportunity since I'm a marketing student, and I mentioned about how the different different strategies and methods to help them get through this organization to university students. How can they promote their brand? And I guess that question probably impressed the judges. So I'm also very fortunate to capture a champion in this competition. And yeah, I feel like a lot of different things I'm doing in my university studies is surrounding the major I'm having marketing. So I guess these are very good examples if you want to know a bit more about how is it like being a marketing student in UST, and what are some direct applications that you can actually utilize your knowledge in different areas and fields. So yeah, that's the end of my short sharing. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask, and also during the Mingling session, we can have a more detailed conversation. Thank you.
So hello everyone, I'm Daphne, and thank you Jason for the in-depth sharing on how his experience in the marketing was. So following up, I will also share a bit about my life in HKUST. So let me just share my slides. Okay. So I'll talk a bit about my marketing internship experience, and then the whole life and some of the additional major selection process that you may want to know. So first, let me introduce my years at HKUST. First, for the first and a half year, I was having the best freshman life ever. I was living in hall, playing with my friends, enjoying everything a freshman would love. And then after year 2, I took a gap year to do a 1-year full-time internship at MedHead, the mobile gaming company that invented Tower of Saviors. And I was working as a marketing executive at that time. And then after a year of working, then I went back to school, and I was working part-time as a digital marketing analyst at Figurist. So let's take a look at what hall life actually is. I was living in UG Hall 1 for about around 2 years, and then I met my friends at the orientation camp of Hall 1, and it was really brilliant. I met a lot of wonderful people, wonderful friends. We enjoyed a very grand festival, and then we have a lot of functions like uniform party, and then we went to each other's congregations to congratulate them for graduation. We basically hang out every night in hall. We will cook together, and then we even went to Macau with my friends, and we stayed in touch even 3 years later till now. And then we have Halloween party. So overall, I think it is a really great experience for freshmen to have a hall life experience, because you will meet some of the closest friend in your university because you basically live together and then spend every night together. You will talk to each other, help each other out through academic or life problems, etc. So I think hall life is really one of my precious memories in UST. So moving on to another topic that may interest you guys is about internships. So two of my internships, I both found them on UST's Career Center job board. This is a really amazing platform by UST. You can find a lot of jobs and internships on there, no matter it's graduate job or part-time internship or full-time internship, and then you can select the industry and field of work that you are interested in. There are a lot of maybe for different majors and schools, you can also find it there. The two of my long-term internships are both found here. So let's talk about my full-time marketing internship in Method. As you may know, very few students actually take a year off and then to do a full-time internship. So I'll share about what I've learned in that year. So that year, I basically focused on social media marketing and event planning. I'm responsible for their Facebook and Instagram pages, and I have to generate more than 10 social media contents that in 1 week. So I will browse through all the popular sites and popular accounts, see what are the hit topics of the week so that we can generate contents that fit for our game, and also we can engage the audience and generate noise. And then because of COVID, a lot of our offline fan meeting cannot be performed. So we have to shift it to online live stream competitions, which I have to figure out a lot of technical difficulties and how to run real-time multi-regional competitions. And so I learned a lot about different live streaming and gaming tools, how to host and plan events. And also we have to do some audience engagement little tasks every month to engage with our audience. So except from, posting and commenting and liking on Instagram and Facebook, I actually get to know how to fully utilize the social media platforms. For example, you can use the Messenger app on Facebook to engage in a mini Q&A competition with your audiences. They can answer some of the questions with preset answers, and then at the end, if they got it all right, they can get an automatic prize in their in-game, which is linked from Facebook to their game. So I actually know how social media actually process a lot of other different functions that we don't really use in our daily lives. So in that year, I actually learned a lot about social media and how I can fully utilize that to maximize my reach and engagement with my audiences. And that year, I have an amazing year because my colleagues are wonderful. We will hang out after work to go barbecue, and then we celebrate each other's birthday. And I also have another UST marketing students to do the 1-year internship with me, and we became really good friends, and we hang out after the internship. So after talking about a social media internship, I will talk about another area in the digital marketing, which is advertising, online advertising, which is what I do at Vigorist for the past years as a part-time analyst. So what we do is Google SEM, which is search engine marketing. You may hear about a lot. Sometimes when you go online and you want to search something, Google, for example, you Google eye doctor, then there will be the top search result. You can see ad, and there will be some eye clinic and doctor. And how did they sort those ads? Like, why would they pop up at first? And actually, there are maybe a lot of eye doctor ads there. So there will be a bidding strategy, which is you set a higher amount of money. The more money you are willing to give, then the higher your ad will appear. And also we have to, because we are an advertising agency, so we actually have to write search keywords and ad copies report for different clients. So we have to do a lot of research on that particular product, and then to see what are the keywords that people most frequently search for, and then set the correct bidding price. Because if you bid too high, you're wasting money. And if you bid too low, your ad doesn't show. So we have to figure out the right bidding strategy, and we have to constantly check the performance to adjust the bidding, adjust the price, etc. And besides the search ad, there's another type of ad, which is called display ad, which is ran through Facebook Ad Manager. Sometimes when you are scrolling through Instagram and Facebook, you may see some sponsored posts with a picture and then some caption underneath. Those are called display ad, and they're often implemented through Facebook. And the process is that we receive the photo and captions from our clients, and then we will help them to devise their targeting audience. Sometimes you may see the ads that related to what you have recently searched. Like if I searched for Coke, and then I will see Coca-Cola or Pepsi ads on my Instagram or Facebook. That's because we target the audience. This is how we come to work. We will type in the target audience, or maybe if you are now searching for JUPAS, university informations, then you will see some overseas studies or etc. Advertisement. That's because when we target the audience, we can set their age, what they're interested in. Maybe if you liked the HKUST UG page, then we will target you, and then we'll send you the ads. So you will see the ads that is most relevant to you. So that is how we maximize our money and to make sure that our ads reach the right audiences. So when you work in a digital advertising agency, that is what you can learn. And actually, these skills not only apply when you are working in an advertising agency. Actually, when you start your own business like Jason did, or you are in other companies, actually everything needs marketing. And if you learn these stuff, you know how to maximize your ad spend. It's actually really helpful for you if you need to promote something on your own, because these two platforms are the two major ad implementation platforms. So I think this is a really vital skills for everyone who's interested in marketing and want to pursue a career in marketing. Okay, so follow up, you have heard Jason has two majors in marketing and management. So I will talk a bit about how you can actually apply for a second major. So at the start of year 2 spring semester, you'll receive email from the SPM office saying that you can apply for the mass major selection process, and you can select an additional major. And there will be interviews hosted in year 2 the summer, so you may not want to go on vacation then. And the requirements is to have a GPA of 2.3 or above. And then the respective major department will select the right candidate they deem fit, and then you can get on an additional major. And a side note, global business is not eligible to apply as an additional major. It can only be applied through direct entry or first major selection. And also, additional major is not applicable to students with general business management major. They have to apply for program transfer. So that is all I have to share. And if you have any follow-up question, or if you want to know more about my university life or internships or JUPAS selections, you can ask me in the following breakout session. And best of luck for your future endeavors, and hope you get into the program and university you want.